Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Zero Excuses podcast. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Kenyon. We are continuing our discussion of this month's topic of taking control. And today, what I wanted to talk with you guys about is doing the number one thing that we can do to take control, and that is taking action. The majority of people out there, they just sit around waiting for the perfect situation to arise, the weather to be right, to have exactly the right amount of energy, to have someone do something for them. Whatever it is, in each one of these cases, and a whole lot more that I just mentioned, we're giving up control. We're allowing the circumstances that we find ourselves in to dictate how our life plays out, instead of just having life by the balls and just owning it. The only way we can actually control our lives is to simply take action. Action that we more than likely already know that we need to take. So the number one barrier to taking control of our lives is simply taking action. And there's several ways that we self-sabotage our ways into not taking action. And today what I want to talk with you guys about are some of those ways. And a couple of simple strategies that I use to get myself to take action. So number one is understanding our fear of failure. It's something that we've talked about here on the podcast before, but it's something that we all deal with, myself included. So I think it certainly bears repeating here, but I think the number one thing that we have to remember about failure is that it is a necessary step for us to uncover success. The only way that we guarantee failure is to not take action. I mean, the world would be a awfully boring place if we all succeeded the first time, or that things came to us rather easy. But by continually taking action, despite the real possibility that we can fail, we build confidence and prove to ourselves that it's actually not all that bad when we perhaps fall short. And actually, I've come to learn that failure is something that I embrace. It's something that I look forward to because it's a learning experience. It's an opportunity for me to grow. So if we all can overcome our fear of failure, we can accelerate our growth. We can knock down so many barriers that we find ourselves behind. So the next bit of strategy that I have for you guys is to forget about the goal. We talk a lot about goal setting and talking about vision a lot here on the podcast. But when we're trying to take action, I think it's important that we understand that we need to set the goal, but then start to focus on the action or series of actions that we need to take to realize that goal. Because if we get wrapped around the axle and focus only on the goal, we only focus on the mountain of actions that we have to take to get to that goal. But if we can narrow things down and start focusing on taking that first step and then the next step, instead of seeing that huge mountain in front of you, just focus on that trailhead and taking that first step down the path. It's easier to get started, take that first step, and get moving down the path towards realizing goals than to just see that mountain that's in front of you. All right, and my last tip that I have for you towards taking action is to focus on consistency. It's been a real struggle for me personally here as of late, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, but this is a hard-earned lesson for me that you have to keep your momentum going. Once you start taking action, don't let that snowball effect stop. You have to keep your stride. You have to keep going. Anyone can be a rock star for a brief moment at a time, but the legends are the ones that can keep it going over the long term. But the one thing that I've recognized here is that the most empowering thing that you can do is to take action despite all the bullshit lies that you're telling yourself in your head, all the things that are stacked against you. Just a quick personal story here is that in my normal 9-to-5 job, I was going through a very, very hectic time here recently. My ship was in dry dock. I was balls to the wall in getting that dry dock completed. and focusing on getting this very podcast out to you guys and not losing sight of the goals that I have for you guys to build that rock solid discipline, etc., etc. And I'm not bringing this up to toot my own horn, but what I want to illustrate to you guys is that if there is something out there that you guys believe in, something that you know you need to do it despite all the things that are being placed in front of you as barriers. You have to continue to take action despite all of the barriers that are placed in front of you. So that's where I'm going to leave it for you guys today. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget to head on over to iTunes and leave us a rating and review. Share this with your friends and family. And also don't forget to check out the show notes for links to everything that we have going on here at Zero Excuses, including my Infinite Results Mastermind group and my exclusive discipline coaching program. You can check those out at kenyonziska.com/results and kenyonziska.com/discipline for each of those programs. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will talk with you guys again soon.